there is a flower shop near Mr. Big Bear's home. There are warm roses, dreamy lavender, romantic baby's breath, and many flowers with unknown names. But these are not what Mr. Big Bear likes. What Mr. Big Bear likes is the owner of these flowers, Miss Lizi. Miss Tanuki is very gentle and speaks softly, like a marshmallow. Every day after get-off work, Mr. Big Bear would come here to sit. After a busy day, this cozy shop has become Mr. Bear's haven of relief. Miss Lizi likes to make milk coffee in her free time, so Mr. Big Bear is lucky enough to taste the fragrant and milky milk coffee every day. Occasionally, Mr. Big Bear will talk to Miss Lizi about his unsatisfactory work. At this time, Miss Lizi always listened patiently and would not comment too much. Finally, Miss Lizi will give Mr. Big Bear a stick of tuberose and wish, "Have a good night's sleep," when he leaves. But today, I'm afraid Mr. Big Bear won't be able to see Miss Lizi. Today, Mr. Big Bear made a mistake at work and was scolded by his boss, so he had to work overtime and finish it again. It was already 10:30 when I walked out of the office building. Miss Lizi's flower shop would close at 9 o'clock, so it was definitely too late now. Mr. Big Bear was already very sad, but at this moment, it started to rain in the dark sky, drop after drop, as if it was hitting Mr. Big Bear's heart. Mr. Big Bear rushed home holding an umbrella, his trousers' hems soaked with rainwater. In the distance, Mr. Big Bear saw a warm yellow light shining in front of him. It was blurry due to the raindrops, but what was certain was that the light came from the direction of Miss Tanuki's flower shop. Mr. Big Bear was shocked. Normally, Miss Lizi would have closed the shop and gone home at this time, but today, the lights were still on. When something goes wrong, there must be a monster. Could it be that Miss Lizi was in trouble? Mr. Big Bear guessed. It was too late. Mr. Big Bear ran towards the flower shop, his umbrella tilting as he ran so fast. Finally arrived, Mr. Big Bear hurriedly opened the door of the shop. However, he did not see the messy flower shop he imagined. Instead, all the flowers were neatly arranged and still blooming as before, while Miss Tanuki fell asleep on the table. Mr. Big Bear's anxious footsteps and the creaking sound of opening the door woke up the sleeping Miss Tanuki. Miss Tanuki was surprised at first, and then smiled reassuringly when she saw Mr. Big Bear. Mr. Big Bear came out of the rain in a very embarrassed state. His hair was soaked, and his trousers were caked with mud. Miss Lizi walked into the back room of the flower shop, and soon she brought out a cup of milk coffee with a strong milk fragrance and a white towel hanging on her wrist. Mr. Big Bear has mellow milk coffee on his lips, and beside him is Miss Lizi, who smells of flowers and milk. She is carefully helping Mr. Big Bear wipe his hair. As the cup fell on the table, Mr. Big Bear hesitated for a moment and asked, "Miss Lizi, why aren't you closing the shop today?" A smiling voice came from above. "Because I'm waiting for you. Good night."